Excited to have Ryan Kick, Regional VP for Princeton Review, one of the biggest operations in the entire country. And Ryan, thank you for joining us again today, buddy.
Happy to be here. Thanks for the invite.
And his sidekick and many-time interviewee here on the Don and Gino Real Estate Finance Show. Of course, we have Mr. Robert Schwartz, Territory Manager for Princeton Review, and also educational consultant. Right?
Correctamundo.
All right. For Premier College Planning. I know you're listening. I go, wait a minute. Who does not know of someone, if it's not you, or for your kids, or your grandkids, you know somebody who's going through the dilemmas of the whole college planning aspect, and we got two of the best experts here to go through some very important topics, and we're stoked to have you guys here today.
Excellent.
We're excited to be here, and before we dive into some really important topics that I know your listeners are going to enjoy, there is some business that needs to be handled here. As many of your listeners may remember, I also run a scholarship organization called the Schwartz Scholarship Fund.
Very cool organization, I must say.
It is a great group. We helped 3 kids make college a little bit affordable this year, a little bit more affordable, I should say. And one of the ways we raise funds is through a fantasy football contest, which, strangely enough, the winner again this year, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Don Getling. He's going to walk away with a Google Nexus 7 tablet, courtesy of the Schwartz Scholarship Fund.
Thank you very much.
In second place,
my mother, my father.
Yes, take photos. In second place, his sidekick, Mr. Gino Franti, who is going to take home 4 movie passes for his family and a free buy into next year's league.
So rigged, huh?
And I was going to say, contrary to popular belief, the reality is there was more than 2 people in this contest.
That's right, and I was bold enough to call because it's pure luck, believe me. I don't do this for a living. I won last year, so I called my team this year the Repeaters.
Yeah, what was really nice.
And I did. It to everybody's disgust.
Yeah, when we were going back and forth about what I was going to call my team, I threw something out there, and then Don was messing with me, and he goes, just call it Just a Bit Outside. And I was like, oh, that sounds great, I'll do that.
And guess what?
Dang, it was Just a Bit Outside.
So the names I chose this year was very fortuitous.
Very apropos.
Yes, okay. Let's get to some important stuff today, because you listen to this show on a regular basis, and hopefully you tune in. You can get your podcast at hometownstation.com or go to donandgino.com, because we actually, this show is actually videoed. We have 3 HD cameras on the show right here in the Vault Media Studios here at Skyline Home Loans, thanks to AP Productions. And you can see us by going to donandgino.com, click on the Listen Chat Live button, and you can enter the Vault and see our very handsome interviewees today and experts. And so let's let's real quick, because we got 2 great subjects. The subjects, just so you know, today we're going to talk about college or major. What is more important? And they're going to go into some questions and answers regarding these things that's going to help enlighten you and make you think a little differently in that process. And then we're going to talk about how you can flex. We talk about flexing a lot with our little afterburn group here. Flex your testing muscles to get into the right program. So great topics today, guys.
Hey, we're glad to bring them to your listeners. And I mean, you've got over 20 years worth of experience on this side of the mics today, so we're very excited to provide some information to your families.
All right, so before we head into going in depth on these topics, and I'm excited to do this because a lot of you out there, I know this is important stuff. So why don't we talk a little bit about what first Princeton Review, and then we'll go into depth about Premier College Planning, just so our listeners know exactly why you're here.
Perfect, absolutely. So Princeton Review is a company known mostly for test preparation. A lot of folks have tackled the SAT or ACT with our help, or maybe law school or medical school was in their future, so the LSAT and the MCAT. And it's what we've been doing for about 30 years.
Oh, wow.
We essentially look at these tests as barriers, and we want to help lift as many students over that barrier as we can. And you find that they're incredibly coachable. They're so fear-based, right? We all know folks who think they're bad test takers, right? Yeah. Which is only because they haven't met us yet. There's a way to get comfortable, right? There's a way to turn this into an asset instead of a barrier. So that's how we started. But what we also found is through this process, tests alone are not what define a student, nor are they what make you competitive for college. They're a part of it. But you know what? You also need some help in academics along the way. You're probably also going to need some help in choosing the right school to begin with, one that you can succeed at. And Princeton Review is beginning to now really learn and now share that expertise for those fields. We have support for students struggling in school to make sure your grades are right. because great grades and rigorous courses is number one.
Right.
Then, of course, we've still got the testing down. Which
yeah, you hear all about that.
Yeah, that's
no stress there.
Back pocket for us, though, so easy. And now we're really starting to talk about, well, why do you want to go to the school on your list in the first place? How do you know it's a fit? And how can we help ask the right questions and learn enough about you to make sure you land at the right spot?
I mean, that's a great topic. I mean, the truth is, in all of our businesses, we always say that the best people ask a lot of questions. And if you don't ask a lot of questions, you can't make good decisions. And I know that we talked about this last time you were on the show. It said, oh, everybody wants to go to an Ivy League school. Well, why? It may not even be the right school for you at all.
Exactly. You're 100% right. And that's the key. It's challenging those preconceived notions. A lot of folks come to this saying, I've got 5 schools on my list. And when you ask them a little bit about those schools, you realize they don't even know too much about it.
They know the football team.
They know the football. Exactly, right? Free commercials on Saturday when you have a great football team. So.
I've got a story that parallels that literally came in this morning. I have a student who I'm working with who is applying to the University of Notre Dame. I mean, very prestigious school. You mentioned football teams, very well known, although they'd like to forget this season. And he said...
At least the second half of it.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And he basically said, so I'm writing my essays for Notre Dame, and I'm struggling with the why do I want to go to Notre Dame essay. That's a real problem. Yeah. If you don't have a concrete idea or 2 or 3 about why you want to attend this particular institution, why you're going to travel from Southern California to the middle of nowhere in Indiana for 4 years of your life, and you can't come up with a couple of compelling reasons right off the top of your head, something is wrong here, and you're shopping the wrong way.
Oh, okay. I love having you guys here. Again, we're here with Ryan Kick, Regional VP of Princeton Review, and also Rob Schwartz, who's been on the show many times, Territory Manager for Princeton Review and Educational Consultant for Premier College Planning. I love that you guys always bring out items we would never ever think of. That's why we bring experts on. That's not our job. We know how to get you into a home better than anyone, but we don't know about one of the most challenging and topical subjects right now is college planning in general. Where to go, how to get in there, you bring up so many information. You know, everybody thinks you have to take the SATs because it's more popular in West Coast versus East Coast and stuff, and you're like, why? And then you help them figure out maybe the ACT is better than the SAT based on how you take tests and how your brain thinks. And that was, I never even heard that when I came out of school. It was SAT. That's all I heard. So let's go in depth about some of these great subjects. I love that you guys bring up stuff that a lot of you out there probably don't think about when it comes to college planning. So we have, again, Ryan Kick and Robert Schwartz here to talk about things you don't know in regarding how you should look at college planning. We're going to talk about college versus major, and we're going to talk about how to flex your testing muscles to get into the schools that you want to get into, and so much more. And we're really excited to share a great day of college planning right here on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show with Don Gelling, Gino Fonte. We'll be right back. Don't go away.